Today, I'm giving you a quick tour of the yearly setup for 2026 in MyPA Notion. This applies to both the MyPA Notion Planner and the full Business Hub. The structure's the same, the Hub just gives you the additional tools. We'll skim the main parts of your life and business plan, then we'll show you where the yearly goals, projects, regular actions and events live. This is only a quick overview. There are separate videos if you want a deeper walk through the 2026 business plan, sales, marketing and finance. So we start with a quick look back and review before we plan ahead. In this review, you can write what worked, what didn't, your biggest wins and what you learned this year. This keeps you from repeating things that drained you and helps you build on what actually moved the business forward. Next, we zoom out and look at the next decade. Here you can list up to 50 things you'd love to have, do or experience in the next 10 years. Work, lifestyle, travel, family, money, personal goals, anything that matters to you. It doesn't need to be perfect. This is just your long-term direction. So your yearly goals have meaning, not just random resolutions. Now we bring it back to next year. This section is about designing how you actually want to live in 2026, not just how much you can get done, how you want to work and how many days, the kind of work you love and want more of, the work you don't enjoy and may want to delegate, where you want to take time off, how you'll switch off, and the hobbies or routines you want to build into your life. It's all about building a year that feels like your best life in practice, not just a full calendar. Now your 2026 bucket list. This is where you can add the fun and meaningful things you want to do in 2026. Trips, experiences, family goals, things that matter outside of work. It helps you plan a year that's not only just about business. Next is your 2026 business plan, and this is one of the most important parts of the whole system. One of the main reasons that businesses fail is because they do not have a clear plan. This section gives you the structure and clarity that successful businesses rely on. I'm not going to go into every field here because there are separate walkthroughs if you want more detail, but this is where everything comes together. You map out your vision and mission, your brand, your products and services, your USP and your value proposition, and how you'll price what you're going to sell. You can also outline how you plan to sell in 2026, your target audience, your key marketing channels and the campaigns, and then capture the key numbers you want to track and your income goals. When this is clear, you stop guessing, you make better decisions, your goals make sense, and you give yourself a stronger chance of success in 2026. Now we move into the yearly planner and start with your vision for 2026. I've already added a couple of vision cards here, like Paris and building a stronger business. And now I'm going to add another one just so you can see how we do it. So I'm going to add how I want to feel next year. I want to feel fitter, stronger and more energized in 2026. And I'll add an image that captures that feeling too. Your vision cards are important because they anchor every goal and project you set. Instead of planning from pressure or what you think you should do, you're planning from the life you actually want to build. The vision makes your year intentional, not reactive, and it helps you stay connected to the bigger picture when you're deep in the day-to-day work. Now we're moving into 2026 goals. I'm going to keep this very generic so it applies to any type of business, and you can tailor yours to your own industry and situation. First, I like to add a headline for the year. For 2026, I'm using 2026 as the year I stabilise the business and build a predictable system. Under that, I'm adding a keyword that captures the theme for the year. And for me, that word's going to be systems. Now let's add the first goal. This one is stabilise monthly revenue at 5 to 8k by Q4. I'll add a target date, set the priority and add the outcome. In this case, reaching that consistent 5 to 8k a month. And what's great is that I can link this goal directly to a project, so the system will show me exactly what needs to happen throughout the year to make this real. So that's how you add a goal. You'll add all of yours at the beginning of the year, and I'm just showing you the process here. Now we move on to projects. Projects are the things you will actually do to make your goals happen. I'm going to add a simple example here so you can see how it works. Let's create a project called Refine Core Offering and Pricing. First, I'll give it a due date, so there's a clear point in the year when this needs to be finished. Then I can link it directly to the goal we just created, so the system knows this project belongs to that revenue goal. I can also choose a frequency. In this case, it's yearly project. If I want to, I can even schedule it to a particular time of year, or I can leave that until later when I plan my months in more detail. And if I scroll down into the yearly projects view, you'll see it appears here with the other projects for 2026, all linked back to the right goal. Next, we move into regular actions. These are the things you do daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly that keep your business running smoothly. They're not projects and they're not goals. They're the essential routines that keep the whole system moving. I'll add one example for each so you can see how it works. Let's start with a yearly action. I'm adding prepare documents for the year end for the accountant. I'll set the status to active. For a yearly action, the frequency is 365 days. And then I add the last done date. This tells me the system when it should next appear. I'm setting the last done date here to the 1st of March 2025. So the next time this comes up will be sometime in 2026. That's how yearly action works. And you set them once and the system will bring them back at the right time. Now I'm going to add a monthly regular action so you can see how that works too. I'm adding add content for the month. I'll set the status to active, the same as before. Because this is a monthly action, I set the frequency to 30 days. Then I add the last done date. This tells the system when it should next appear. I want this to fall at the end of each month, so I'm choosing the end of November as the last done date. That means the next time it will show up is the end of December, and then it will continue repeating monthly from there. This way, the system brings it back automatically at the right time without you needing to remember it. So if we look here at the yearly regular actions, they won't appear here. So we'll just have a look at the monthly, and here you'll see them appear in the monthly regular actions. And then they'll appear also on the day that they're due. Now I'm going to add a weekly regular action, and I'll use something we all need, a weekly planning session. I'll set it to active. Set the frequency to 7 days and choose the last done date. I'll set that to last Sunday. That means it will appear again this Sunday and then automatically every week after that. So again, it's not going to appear here in the regular actions, the yearly regular actions, but we just hop over to the weekly plan. We'll see it here popping up in the weekly regular actions. And again, this will appear on your daily schedule as well when it's due. So instead of going back to yearly, I'm just going to demonstrate how you can just quickly add a regular action from anywhere, from any page. So here we go, just scroll down there to quick buttons and then regular actions. And then let's lastly add a daily regular action. Finally, I'm going to add a daily regular action. For this one, I'll use check email. I set the status to active, and because it's daily, I set the number of days to 1. I can add a last done date here if I want the system to calculate the next one for me automatically, but I don't have to because this is something I want to appear every single day anyway. So that's how you set up daily actions that keep the business ticking over in the background. I'm just going to quickly show how it's going to appear in your daily planner here. I'm just going to hop over to the dashboard and then you'll see that if I jump down to the weekly view, you'll see the weekly action, weekly planning session already sitting here, and then also the checking the mail. Now it's time to add events. This is where you add all the things you already know are happening in 2026. So they're in the system before the year even starts. I'll add a simple example here, a birthday. I type in the name, choose the date, and then select the event type as birthday. You can do this the same for holidays, school terms, launches, trips, or any other key dates that affect your time. Once these are in, they'll show up when you'll plan your months and weeks, so you don't accidentally overload yourself or forget something important. I'll add one more example so you can see a different type of event. This time I'm adding a strategy meeting. I give it a name, choose the start and end time, and set the event type to meeting. What's important to know here is that events behave differently from tasks. Events appear in the monthly and yearly calendar grids because they're fixed dates and times. Tasks and regular actions appear in the daily and weekly view, so the calendar doesn't get overloaded or cluttered. This keeps your schedule clean. Events on the calendar, tasks in your task views, and you always know what's happening and when. And there you have your full yearly setup for 2026. You've reviewed 2025, mapped out your long-term direction, designed your lifestyle for the year, outlined your business plan, set your goals, added your projects, set up your regular actions, and added the key events that will shape your year. This gives you a structure that supports you all year long instead of trying to hold everything in your head. If you want to use my PA Planner and or the Business Hub in Notion to build your own system, I'll leave the links below so you can choose the version that fits how you like to work.